Before we move forward, let's go ahead and refactor a few things. Let's move this method outside of here. So first, let's go to our project and close down all of this mess that we made. So inside of lib there, I'm going to just create a new folder such and call this services. And still inside of our service, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this create user.dart. And so we're going to go back to create account. I'm going to fold this. Oh, let me give myself a little space here. And then shift, select all, cut it all, and let's put it all here. Okay, so a few things that we need to import: material, Firebase Firestore, and Firebase auth as well. All right, let's go back to our create account, make sure that we import other things as well. All right, so now it's time for us to actually, because we have a user, let's go ahead and work more. Seems like we're actually going to see more progress in terms of visual progress. Let's create at the top here something that we have like here. Create this nice entity where we have a circle avatar, name, and potentially a sign out button. Back to main screen. Now, one thing we need to do here is instead of getting the books, we're actually going to users. So I'm going to change a few things here. This is going to be user collection. Call this user collection. And of course, we're going to break a few things. There's a user collection reference like that. Should be good. Now, this won't work because we are passing in a book object to map things out. So first, I am going to get rid of all of this in the beginning. And this is just going to return an empty text for now. Save this. And somehow I'm getting this stalled performing hot restart, which is not very helpful. And I usually what I do, I stop altogether, which kills our session, which kills the current user that's logged in. And if it continues, then I will have to figure something out. Okay, so I'm going to rerun everything. Okay, very good. Now it's clean and empty. What do we need to do? Because we're actually still inside of this row, right? So I'm going to actually remove all of this and put that outside, but rather inside, still inside of our app bar. I'm going to use the actions where we can have a list of widgets we can add. And this is where I'm going to paste it all in this stream builder here. Goal is to go to our users collection and loop through and get the user who's logged in. That's the reason why we have this UID attached to every user, so that we can then check to see, okay, let's find a user, this user here inside of this list of users, that has an UID that is the same as these users that we have in authentication, right? So in this case, if Gina is logged in, it's going to go and look at this ID of this user authenticated. If that's the same, then we'll know this is Gina. So first, let's create that infrastructure, right? So we need to create something that will look like this. We can have an image, title, and then a button. So let's get rid of all of this so far. And I'm going to say return. I'm going to return a column. And I'm going to have children, of course. And the first thing I'm going to add a circle avatar as such. I'm going to give a radius of about 60, and let's give a background image. Let's get network image. For now, let's just pass something that we already have. That way we don't have to do too much. So in this first one, I have this Pixum image that we can use. I'm going to just paste it all in. So this is just the Pixum website where we can go and get random pictures. It's really good for when we are testing things out. All right, gonna give a background color.white, colors.white, that is. For child, I'm gonna just put a text that says nothing. And then what we want to do is to have this name at the bottom there. Let's see if we can do that. So we know this is circle avatar. We want to put that at the bottom of that. So I'm gonna add a text here that will say the name of the user. So I'm going to say user name for now. Let's put it, give it a style, color. Let's say colors.black. We'll change that at some point, but that's fine. And then outside here, because remember we have a stream builder. In fact, we can see this stream builder saying that this is where it all ends, yet we're still inside here of a column or something, I believe. Let's see. That'll be a row. That's fine. That means outside then we're going to add an icon. So I'm going to say text icon, text button icon, that is text icon. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. I'm going to pass an anonymous function there. I'm going to say icons icon and pass our icons, and let's get something that resembles a logout. So say logout. There is a logout, and for the label I'm just going to pass text with nothing in there. Very good. Let's save this, and you can see there it is. We have all of this. This doesn't look great. It looks like it's taking up too much space, but at least we see things are working. We have that button, and we have overflow by 80 pixels at the bottom there. So we need to fix that. What we can do, we can just wrap this inside a sized box and make this box 40. That's probably going to be the best. And there you have it. It's working, looks nice. Maybe we could put some padding around, but that's okay. At least we can see the infrastructure is there. Now what we need to do is figure out how do we get then the username. Now there's two ways to do this. One, the quicker way would be to just use the Firebase auth and then get the email. And of course we can cut from @ and get the first username, right? However, we don't want to really do that. We could do that, of course, but we don't want to do that because what we want to do, remember, we want to get users from our users collection. Okay, that's what we have here. So what we need to do is to filter through all of the users in this case and find the correct user through the UIID. Let's go to this one, which has the correct UIID. So we're going to compare, okay, does this user here with this ID, document ID, does he has UID this, which is going to be equal to the current user that is actually being authenticated and logged in this case, this one here, Gina. Right? If that's the case, then we know we have the right user, and then we can then get any of these fields, in this case, display name and so forth, and go from there. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next video, which is to filter through the user that we want and find that user and then use that user.